It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Kevin Nichols. He's the owner of Nichols Energy Solutions. Dan Tagliamonte is the founder and lead designer of Sea Culture. And then Elijah Puccini is the owner of Mellow Roofing. He'll stop by. And then Alex Bem will wrap us up. He's the executive director of Clear Path for Veterans in New York right here. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan, also on YouTube, where you can see stories and see pictorially what's going on in video. And we're trying to get that the subscriptions up, as the kids would say. You know, we need subs.
Yes.
We need likes and subs, man.
Maybe that'll help. We'll use abbreviations.
Yes, you can do.
They are going up. Every week, we have 5 or 6 more here and there, and people are seeing
That's
it.
nice. What do we have? Like, do we even have 100?
No, we got 165 or 70 or somewhere around there.
There's a girl who reviews coffee, and she's got over 8 million subscribers, just so you know. So, just to give you a little comparison.
She probably looks.
She talks about
like,
coffee.
She's
15.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
all right.
She's a kid.
Well, we're not her.
No.
We're the local show, Tom.
That just goes to show you, though. I mean, just crazy stuff. People that do yoga, and to show you different positions for yoga, and they got like 8 million subscribers. I don't get it.
Well, on our YouTube channel, they get to see that you're losing your hair a little bit finally.
Yeah,
Tom.
that's beautiful.
And they get to see my hat and imagine what's not underneath it.
Well, let's see if we can kick up the subscribers here talking with Kevin Nichols. He's really popular, been on the radio before. How are you there, Kevin?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me today.
Kevin's the owner of Nichols Energy Solutions. Now, you've been on with the Home Repair Workshop boys and all that, so you're no stranger to this.
Right, yeah. I try to go on the Home Repair Workshop at least once a year. I find that is definitely great hosts who know a lot about residential industry.
Sure, yeah.
And that's where my main focus is, and they usually tee up some really good questions about solar. I usually find that homeowners have more or less the same 20 questions about solar. They just ask them in a different order every time.
Right.
So I want to just, answer that information as clear as I can and let people know that there's a local installer who's providing the solar projects that we do.
What got you into this solar industry?
Yeah, my brother Steve is definitely to blame. I was a sales professional in the time working in the staffing and recruiting industry, and he kind of had the bright idea to enter this industry. Okay. He was a RIT graduate. He's an engineer, and he had been working in the solar industry since 2012. And at the same time, New York State was starting to roll out the incentives, and we felt like the residential market was really underserved.
Yeah.
And we're Central New Yorkers born and raised. We're both from Liverpool.
Sure.
So we wanted to provide quality installations to our community and not have people thinking like they need to work with somebody from out of state or from Albany or somebody who's more focused on like solar field construction. The residential market is a different skill set, in my opinion, and that's our focus.
Where did you go to college?
Le Moyne.
So you went to Le Moyne for what? For business? Or?
No, actually, I was a history major. I was when I was asked to make the decision of what I'm going to go to school for, 17 years old. I want to be a history teacher, and things kind of changed from there. But the Le Moyne education, I really think, allows you to pivot. And for me, it was a sales internship with Hummel's Office Plus, a local office supply company.
We know those guys.
We know them, yeah.
And that's kind of where I cut my teeth and learned that I like sales a lot. And then for me, it was just over time.
Sick man.
Over time, it was just about finding like what's the industry. What when you're in sales, you're going to represent something and you're putting your name into something, regardless of owning the company or not.
Right.
And for me, the solar industry made a lot of sense. I want people to save money first and foremost, and if we could do it in a way that's environmentally conscious, then it's a win-win.
So top 20 questions. Tom, I'm going to take a shot. You can do that.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay.
You can try.
Kevin, there's not enough sun
Bingo.
in Syracuse to solar. So how does that work? So tell it.
Yeah, so our weather, we have the gray weather, we have the snow. Does solar work? Yes, it does. Now, it doesn't work when there's a fresh snowfall on the panels and the panels are covered. But
Gotcha.
all of those other days of the year, even when it's a gray day, like yesterday was for the majority of the day, that doesn't mean that solar's not working. And the other nice thing we have in New York State that most other states are jealous of is a law called net metering. This is a concept much like rollover minutes from the old cell phone plans. Our systems are allowed to overproduce energy on a nice, cool day and then allow that overproduction to save you money in the winter months. So winter performance is kind of a moot point because we do have systems that overproduce in the spring, summer, and fall.
Gotcha.
We get a year's worth of energy out of our systems in like the 9 great months of the year for performance, and then let those winter months not perform so well. But that's okay because your credits are banked on your utility account, and it's all very transparently set up by your utility company.
Okay. I want to see if I get another one of the 20.
Yeah,
Ready?
that was definitely one of them.
Yeah. So what's the ROI? Because this thing's expensive.
Yep.
How can you show me that it's going to actually save me money?
Yeah, so the systems usually pay for themselves in a 7 to 8 year window. The number one variable there, though, is what are the conditions on site? If it's a really shady property with trees very close to where the solar is going to go, the performance is going to be weak. The payback period is going to be longer. The other key variable is, well, what's our cost for electricity 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 7 years from now? Our earliest customers received a shorter payback period than what I estimated back in 2015 because the cost per kilowatt hour from the utility companies is rising more steeply than we would have predicted. Our model only calls for a 3% increase year over year in the rate, but the increase year over year has been greater than that. So that means that the savings are greater than what people signed up for. So I think 8 years is a very conservative place to be, but the key is our systems come with a 25-year performance warranty on the panels and the inverters. So there's a lot more longevity in the product than I think the average homeowner knows.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know, the panels were constructed differently 10 years ago and 5 years ago.
Yep.
So as panels become maybe more aesthetically pleasing and get smaller, do you have a swap out program? Like, geez, my panels are huge and ugly. Can you get me the smaller ones?
It's not really a swap out program, and the panels aren't actually getting smaller. They're actually getting longer,
Really?
But they're becoming more power dense. So the first system I sold, the panel wattage was 250 watts per panel. Right now, they're 400 watts per panel.
Wow.
Nice.
So there's a steep increase, but they are longer, meaning fewer panels on the roof. Aesthetically pleasing, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah.
The panels now are all black. They used to have like a bluish look to them with a silver frame. The other thing that aesthetically has changed is the solar shingle. We're one of the only companies in New York State who has access to it. It's manufactured by GAF, which is the #1 asphalt shingle manufacturer out there. And they chose a few companies in New York State to provide solar shingles when roof replacement is needed.
Unpack that a little bit.
We both went, huh?
It's brand new. So unlike what a lot of people saw early on from like Tesla and Elon Musk, which was like solar glass on every edge and every corner, this is not that. It still has an outside perimeter of asphalt shingles. That's really the most cost-effective way to waterproof and seal up the house.
Yeah.
But on the inside middle, when you have a nice open run of roofing, you could do a nailable solar shingle. I would ask people to go to our website or just do a Google search of GAF Energy, and you will find the product. And this is only a fit when roof replacement is needed. It can't be put on top of anything. It's a function of roof replacement. So if people need a new roof in the near future, they should keep this in mind. Or if new construction is an opportunity, then that new construction home, the first roof it gets should be solar shingles, in my opinion.
Right, real quick, why would someone say no to solar for a residence?
I honestly think the easiest one where I'm like, hey, I get it. I understand why you didn't do it, is if somebody's not planning to stay at the home. Because of the things like the time it takes for ROI, the real sweet spot is the longevity of the equipment. And so if you're not going to be the one to really recoup that benefit over the course of time, you're just kind of hoping to recoup your investment in the sale of the house. And then things can get a little bit tricky and open to interpretation.
Now, do you feel that installations are going well? People want business increasing?
We have a ton of demand. Our main challenge right now is staffing in terms of office personnel to support me and then installation personnel to support my brother.
So Nichols Energy Solutions, right? NicholsEnergySolutions.com. I have 481-7412.
Yep, that's my number. Call or text.
481-7412.
Gotcha. Well, thank you very much. And you and your brother, thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
And have a great rest of the day.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Okay, you got it.
Take care.
Dan Tagliamonte is coming up next. He's the founder and lead designer of C Culture. We'll figure out what that's all about on the local show on 570 WSYR.